Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. And yes, I was running just a little bit late. I realized I was like, oh my gosh, I do not have my mouse in here. I better go get that before I, start everything. So I had to go run and do that. So I apologize, but here I am, and here you are. Hey, Joe, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for letting people know that sometimes I run a teeny little bit late. And hello, Insolent Violet. How are you doing, my love? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Albs. Nice to see ya. Nice to see ya. Hi, Ellen. How are you doing? And I see there is, I'm not sure who Mintu Roy is. I think that's what the name is. I may be wrong about that. But anyway, here we are. We're all here. Hot chicken. Oh, I love that name. Hot chicken. I could go for some hot chicken right about now. Well, I thought I would update you because there was another update today. I mean, is it all that exciting? Well, I think it's just a little bit interesting. So, there's that. And think I need to make this a little bit smaller on this screen. Yeah, that's a little bit better, I think. All right. So this latest filing today is a joint motion to extend discovery and other deadlines. So this means that the plaintiff and the defendants are in agreement of like, yo, we need some more time. And I also, not tonight, but I will go over, there was another document filed yesterday, which I think I'll need to pull up the amended complaint so I can look at some things. And basically what that document is saying, just to like give you a quick summary of it, is like, no, we didn't do that. We're not guilty. We didn't do that. No, we're denying that. Nope, didn't do that. Nope. Okay, we'll say we did this. We'll say we did that. Nope, didn't do that. Nope. You're wrong. That's basically kind of the gist of the document. At least that's how I read it. Those were the voices that I heard in my head. I mean, I'm sure not everybody reads it in that kind of voice, but that just comes through to me. And I mean, I guess it's what you kind of do. Doug and I have not been able to quite connect, and so I'll want to ask him about this stuff too. This is just kind of something that these cases will do. They will just go like, nope, didn't do anything, nothing to see here, folks. That's what they'll do, in hopes of maybe we'll just be able to slide on by with this, but judges aren't dumb, I mean, they're not dumb. So they're not gonna say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Oh yeah, you know what? Forget about it. It was a joke. Yeah, we can all just pack up and go home. It's not like that. Anyway. Okay. Had to get a little sippy poo. And next week, so you guys know, I do have an appointment with a neurologist because I really just got annoyed that I haven't really gotten any answers. So I figure, you know what? I'm just going to take the bull by the horns and go see a neurologist. I tried to do that last year and couldn't get through, and I was able to get a quick appointment with the same neurologist I was trying to see last year. So I'm like, well, thank goodness. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's the update of my chronic pain. Doesn't that sound just like fun? Anyway, and some Violet says, I don't see how Ash is going to afford an attorney. This is going to be a ton of work. Well, I mean, I guess allegedly he's already paid for time currently. And Insolent Violet also says discovery is going to be monumental. I picture a room full of boxes. Oh, I definitely picture, almost like multiple rooms filled with boxes. Honestly, I mean, it seems like there's just ever so much. I mean, one of the things that they're trying to pull is like, you really can't go by the webinars that any of the founders put out because, they're not 100% accurate and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, what about all those friends and family webinars? Because, that those were recruiting. Hello. So there's that. Hang on just a second. I have something. No, hang on. Okay. Hey there, Mr. Level. How are you doing, sweetness? Nice to see you. Joe says, I see poor court employees watching hundreds of hours of webinars. I mean, here's the thing. When I first started covering it, I know, and Beth and I both first started covering it, it took us a while because I was like, what the hell what the fuck is all this shit? Who are these people? It takes you a while unless you have a playbook. So, like who's who, and you like write all that out. Like this person is this person. This is what they used to do. This is what they're doing now. This is how they know this. This is, you know what I mean? You kind of like craft out. Almost like, when you go see a play and you get a cast of characters and you get, something like the playbill, almost like that. I feel like that's what's needed for anybody who's going to sit down and go at this, like they're brand spanking new and they don't know shit about it. They need something as a go-to so that they can look up, so that they can go like, oh, okay, yeah, that's who that is. Oh, that's okay. Something, because it's a lot to wrap your head around. And as much as I know that all of you guys know about it as I do, like we've all kind of like discovered things, together, it still is, it's a lot to just kind of, keep up with, because there's just so many different facets to all of this. Hang on. Sorry, I'm getting some texts. It's okay though. Alrighty. So let me see. I'm going to share my screen. And which one is it? I'm going to do this window. All right. So you guys should be able to see this. So here we have it. So joint motion to extend discovery and other deadlines. Now, what I am going to do when I read through this, when it has like these different little numbers and stuff, I'm not going to necessarily read everything that's in parentheses. And so it says me they'll lose a piece of their soul after, that's the whole thing. Until Mr. Hunbot, he said hi. I will, Joe. I most certainly will tell him that. Okay, so plaintiff, Securities and Exchange Commission, good Lord, SEC or commission. Okay, I'll read that. Defendants, Ashraf Mufareh, well, we call him Ash. I mean, that's one of the things we call him, right? I mean, I'm sure there's other choice words that, are used for him, but I digress. And ONPASSIVE LLC, ONPASSIVE, collectively defendants. Now, remember, this is ONPASSIVE LLC, which is here in the U.S. As I know, like I've shown you how there's different entities of ONPASSIVE, but this is the one in the U.S., specifically the one that was first formed in Florida, which is now registered in Delaware. And relief defendant, Asmahan, Mufareh, relief defendant, collectively the parties. Respectfully submit this joint motion under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, blah, blah, requesting that the court extend discovery and other deadlines for 6 months for good cause shown. In support of this joint motion, the parties state as follows. Background. Now, we know this, but, we're going to go over it again. The SEC filed the complaint, docket number 2, on August 11th, 2023, and filed the amended complaint on November 6, 2023, docket number 26. The amended complaint alleges that the defendants violated the federal securities laws by engaging in the fraudulent and unregistered offerings of securities, and that relief defendant was unjustly enriched by receiving the proceeds from the same. Defendants deny all claims alleged against them. And that's what I was just saying is like, what I will go over with you so that we can look at like what does the complaint say and what do they go like, no, we didn't do that. You're wrong. No. We deny. They are writing in the river of denial. On October 10th, 2023, the parties jointly submitted a uniform case management report in which they noted the depositions may be taken in India, which may require requests for the court to issue letters rogatory to the Indian Central Authority. The parties stated that ONPASSIVE would take all necessary steps to obviate the need for letters rogatory, including by making employees available for depositions to the extent possible. I'm finding that very interesting considering all the shenanigans that we know that have gone on with, the employees and not being paid and people being let go and yada, yada. Anyway, however, the parties noted that the fact discovery deadline may need to be extended. On October 11th, 2023, the court issued the case management and scheduling order, docket number 16, the scheduling order under which discovery was completed by December 2nd, 2024, and trial would begin June 2nd, 2025. Hello, Bob, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say Nana at the end of it because I can say that. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're having a lovely day or lovely evening wherever you are in this world. So that the trial would begin June 2nd of 2025. On August 27th, 2024, the court issued an order denying defendants and relief defendants' motion to dismiss the amended complaint, which I read that to you guys earlier. They are on strike, so we can't make them available to you. Yeah, right? Docket number 40. The court's order required the defendants and relief defendant to respond to the amended complaint in accordance with the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, and give this number. The defendants and relief defendant filed an answer to the amended complaint on September 10th, 2024. That's the document that I'm telling you that I will review, but I'm not going to review it tonight because it's quite lengthy, because I'm going to then have to go back and read what is on the amended complaint when they are referring to different paragraphs. Argument. District courts have broad discretion over the management of pretrial activities, including discovery and scheduling. A district court clearly has the discretion to extend or modify deadlines within a case management and scheduling order to enlarge the discovery period. Rule 16's good cause showing permits modification of a scheduling order where the schedule cannot be met despite the diligence of the parties seeking the extension. There is good cause to extend the existing discovery and other deadlines for 6 months under the circumstances present here. Hey there, Beth, how are you doing? The parties have diligently pursued discovery, including exchanging initial disclosures and serving and responding to document requests, interrogatories, and deposition notices. The parties have also met and conferred to resolve discovery disputes on several occasions. Despite these efforts, the parties agree that an extension of these deadlines is necessary to complete the fact and expect discovery in this case. This is so largely because of the issues previewed in the Uniform Case Management Report, namely that due to the fact that certain witnesses and evidence are located in India, the parties require additional time to complete discovery. Specifically, the parties have not yet reached agreement about the potential depositions of up to 14 foreign located witnesses, many former employees of ONPASSIVE affiliate entities, many of which will require the issuance of letters of request to India and could take several months for India to process. For each of the foreign located witnesses whose depositions may be necessary, it will take additional time to resolve the proper legal authority and process by which to achieve this discovery. Thus, it is not likely that the depositions will be completed by the current discovery deadline of December 2nd, 2024. Significant document discovery is also still pending, including, among other things, critical software code in the possession of the defendants, which is located overseas. This core evidence is necessary before the parties can take certain depositions and disclose expert reports. Now, I think that's going to be very interesting considering what has happened with everything, like, not working and stuff. Hope Miss Hunbot had fun at McDonald's. Is that me? Oh, it must be for Hannah. Had fun at McDonald's. This has to mean that they want to extend because they keep hanging themselves on these lives. Hey, Jelly Snack, how are you, my love? I mean, that's the funny thing is that the more they talk, the more they tell, and they tell on themselves often. Not to mention, I mean, we all know how Ash speaks in circles and uses very disjointed language. It's almost like you need a code book, except for the code book is actually missing pages and missing words in it. So you still can never really figure out what the man is actually saying. And meanwhile, you have the three amigos, like just nodding as if they just get everything. Nobody understands what the fuck the man is saying. I mean, let's all just be fucking honest about that shit. Nobody knows what he means or what he's actually saying because he speaks in riddles. He speaks in a way that no one on this planet typically speaks because they typically make some sort of sense at some point. And I mean, I don't think I've ever heard him make sense in anything he's ever presented. It's always, I'm just left with what? As I think most people are. And if anyone is like, oh no, I understood 100%, they're lying. I'm sorry. They're just fucking lying. I don't care that they said that. Oh no, I have down Ash language. No, you don't. Nobody has that down. I don't even think he does. Good gravy. Okay, sorry. I got on my soapbox about that. Significant document discovery is also still pending, including among other things. Okay, I already read that. The core evidence necessary, I read that too. Finally, there may be a need for additional discovery after service of responsive pleadings by the defendants and the relief defendant, which included identification of affirmative defenses and answers to the factual allegations in the amended complaint. Accordingly, the parties proposed the following extension of the discovery deadlines along with corresponding adjustments to other deadlines. So we can see that the disclosure of plaintiff's expert reports, October 1st, 2024, now they're asking for that to be extended to April 1st, 2025. Disclosure of defendant's expert reports, the current deadline, November 4th of this year, asking it to be May 5th of 2025. Discovery deadline of December 2nd of this year, asking that to be moved to June 2nd of 2025. Dispositive motions deadline, currently January 6th of 2025, asking that to be moved to July 1st of 2025. Meeting in person deadline is April 17th, 2025. Currently, they're asking that to be moved to October 17th, 2025. Joint final pretrial statement, April 21st, 2025. They're asking that to be moved to October 21st, 2025. Pretrial motions deadline currently is April 28th, 2025. They're asking that to be moved to October 28th, 2025. Objections to counter designations, the deadline currently is May 5th, 2025. They want it to be changed to November 5th, 2025. Final pretrial conference currently is May 20th, 2025, and they are suggesting that be November 20th of 2025. And the trial term begins currently June 2nd of 2025. Now they want it to begin next year, December 1st of 2025. And then it is local rule certification. The undersigned counsel conferred over the contents of this joint motion to extend discovery and other deadlines, and all parties agree on the relief sought. And so then it says, for all the foregoing reasons, plaintiffs, SEC, defendants, Ashraf, Mufareh, and ONPASSIVE LLC, and relief defendant, Asmahan, his wife, jointly request that the court extend the discovery and other deadlines by 6 months as set forth herein. And then you have it signed by the SEC, SEC attorneys, and then by his legal team as well. So there you go. Yep, they may have it moved until December 2025 and I really think that there is plenty more evidence that they want to make sure that they go through and really have it tight. And I'm talking about the SEC making sure that they have it tight, because they don't want, to leave anything open and for wiggle room, is what my guess is. And let's see what you guys are saying over here. Ash has been brainwashed, meaning the founders say he's why, but he's really an idiot. Well, they seem to think he is the most brilliant man on this planet. Well, not even a man. I'm sorry. Let me take that one back, because, they will reference him as a deity, which that always disturbs me, even as an atheist. Hot Chicken says the funniest part is they attribute his riddles into his genius. You are so right. It's like somehow the fact that he makes no sense to them, that is like, look how brilliant he is. We can't understand him. That's just because he speaks on a different level. No, it's just because he wants to confuse everybody, and then he ends up confusing himself even more and everybody else along with it, in my opinion. And Joe's right. He just shovels a great big pile of the stinky stuff. Jelly Snack says, typical Ash, extending deadlines. Well, but it's also, the SEC is in agreement with this. And I'm saying, they probably are doing it for a reason, because they want to, like I said, tighten up everything and make sure that they have everything in order. And, they want to check their list and check it twice, see who's naughty and who's nice. And in this case, they're just going to see who's naughty, because everybody's been naughty. And Instant Violent is agreeing with Hot Chicken. And Curious R says, Ketchup Crew reporting for duty. Well, hello there, Ketchup Crew. Yep, you're right, Queen. Moving it to December 2025. And we will see what the judge says. I have a feeling that the judge will just say, okay, you guys are in agreement. Let's do this. I'll give you more time, because some of these people are in India, and it's going to take you longer to get the depositions than it would if they were here in the US. That would make sense to me. Hello, Sherry. How are you, my love? Instant Violence says, we anti-MLMers are going to need to be patient. The SEC process is going to be very long and frustrating. I do think when it does actually go to trial, if they are not able to reach an agreement in mediation, which currently we're still in that area, I don't know if we will reach to an agreement. I have a feeling maybe not, because I think Ash will be such a jackass. I'll just say that, just such a jackass, and not agree to anything and just continue to deny, that he'll have to. And Monhan says, the fact the SEC wants to extend discovery makes it evident that their mediation wasn't close to resolving any of the charges. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking too, Monhan. Thank you so much for popping in and saying that. And good to see you. How are you, sweetheart? Hope you're doing very well. And I see that there is, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to get your name correct. Moonswar Praja. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying it correctly. I apologize, but thank you for being here. Glad you're here. What looks like another year of ONPASSIVE. Agreement to do what? An agreement, when you mediate scam cham, it's basically like, if you agree to do this, we'll agree to do that. Coming to an agreement so that they can basically not go to trial, to reach a resolution so that the case doesn't go to trial. They're not reaching any agreement in which to resolve it without it going to trial, is what it sounds like. And I think that's what Monhun is saying as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. And like I said, I would like to go over the other document, but at the same time, and I'm going to need more time to look at all the things that they said, nope, we didn't do this in paragraph X, Y, and Z, or in paragraph this, this, and this. Okay, yeah, we'll admit to this tiny little thing. Okay, we did that. But not this, 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 and this, and this. And it just goes on with that. They're basically just denying everything, which I find that to be, I would expect that of Ash. So if Ash is going around saying that he has resolved this case, clearly that is not the case. And we already knew that based on the prior update that I gave, and looking to dismiss the case. And the judge was basically like, no, that's not happening. And because they use the same arguments for the first claim and they use those for the amended claim, it was the exact same thing. And the judge is like, no, we're not doing that. Basically, why are you wasting my time using this same stuff? I mean, come up with something new already, but they're not going to do that. And it sounds like that, I'm guessing that Ash has been the hold up in trying to get anything resolved because he's just like refusing to admit to anything, because he believes that he's above the law, is my guess. That he can operate and do whatever he wants in whatever manner he wants because, it's not applicable to him. Monhun says, another 16 months before the trial phase starts. This is turning into the world's longest running press release by a government agency. Oh, that's a good one, right? Oh, yeah, this was just a press release, according to Ash. How do you explain that this is still going on, Ash? What you gonna say? Are you gonna say like, oh no, we've reached an agreement? Oh my God, Ash and his riddles could twist them up in circles for a long time. I just have a feeling that the attorneys will be able to shut down his non-answer answers, And I'm having a feeling that whatever deposition, I'm saying disposition, whatever deposition has been given, whatever he has said, there is probably a lot of Ash speak in it. And they're looking at it and going, WTF, using better language than WTF, but basically like, dude, get real. What are you saying? This makes no sense whatsoever. And Ash is just going to be a donkey and just, balk at everything. It's just my guess. I'm just seeing him as a big donkey about all of this. Let's see. Thomas says that, I quote the great philosopher, Billy Preston, will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? Good one. Thank you, Thomas, so much for that. I needed that laugh. He's so slippery. I hope they have the skills. I have a feeling they will. I have a feeling they will because, they will have watched and had people watch him and his webinars and the way he says things a number of times until they can kind of like have their own playbook about what he's saying and use that as reference to everything. I have a feeling they're going to have a lot of sticky notes using a lot of things to be able to reference because, Ash has yet to learn how to keep his mouth shut. And certainly, the three amigos don't keep their mouths shut either. And they keep on saying stupid things. It's almost as if, they've been encouraged to say all of these things by someone, Maybe they've been encouraged to, continue to keep people on the hook, so to speak. Kind of my guess. But all of it, I mean, it just really sounds like they're going to just keep on seeing what else they find. I mean, think about all the people over the years that have put videos out recapping the recaps of the recap, doing their spin on everything. I mean, that's also evidence. And I think that can be entered because that will show evidence of how they are interpreting it, and especially any of those videos where they're mentioning anything about how much money they think that you can make, or if you're going to be able to live a life of freedom, and any type of lifestyle claims or income claims made throughout that entire time period. And it's too late for Ash to try to get rid of all of that because they've got it. It's not like, they're going like, now we've got to go. They've got to like go through a fuck ton of shit. There's that. There's probably so much of it that is like unimaginable. I mean, think that if you had to watch more than once every single video that's ever been made about ONPASSIVE by anybody associated with ONPASSIVE, I mean, that would be, well, first of all, I think that would drive you a little batty. And then, you would start seeing patterns, and you would start, like if other people are looking at it, you would definitely be having meetings over what patterns are being seen throughout these over a period of time. And there's ways to extract that with technology in terms of what is being said, when it's being said, how it's being said, and by whom. But they said apples while showing dollar signs in their presentation. So they're totally off the hook of income claims, right? Right. That's what I think they think. I really do. I really think they think that. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that, And that's the thing. It's like, I think that they do think all this tap dancing around everything somehow puts them in the clear. Clearly, it doesn't. Hello, Paul. I hope you are having a good day, and good morning to you. This is a chat discussing the latest document in the docket of the SEC case with ONPASSIVE, and looking to extend the case for the discovery and other dates for an additional 6 months. And I can show you what is being proposed. It is being proposed by both the plaintiff and the defendant. And I'll show you those dates, Paul, so that you are aware of them, because I've already read everything, but I want you to be aware of them. So this is, you can see these were all the current deadlines, and they're looking to extend everything over here. And because they're looking to extend all these deadlines, we are surmising that during mediation, which mediation has been occurring, but that they're nowhere close to coming to any kind of compromise during mediation, because that's what happens during mediation, is both parties are compromising and they're coming to an agreement. And by reaching an agreement, each party will acquiesce. They'll say, like, okay, I'll give you this if you give me that, kind of a thing. It's kind of, a dance back and forth, trying to come to a mutual agreement so that the trial would be avoided. But if they can't reach that, and from the need of being able to extend this, clearly they have not been able to come to anything close to reaching any kind of an agreement. And that would be why that the SEC is like, yes, we do need to extend this. And the extension also has to do with taking depositions from people who are in India. And there's up to 14 depositions in India that are needing to be taken. And there's just different procedures that they need to go through for that to happen, because it's not just as quick and easy as it is here in the States, where people would be able to meet and do it. We have to go through different hoops because it is a different country than, here. So, and I think as a lot of those are former employees of ONPASSIVE that they would be taking depositions from, is my understanding. And I could be, let's see, does it say up here? Guys, did I say that correctly? Did I remember everything correctly? Because you guys were listening to me as I was reading things. Okay. It says the parties have not reached agreement about the potential depositions of up to 14 foreign located witnesses, many former employees of ONPASSIVE affiliate entities. So that's letting you know right there that they need to take those depositions. Okay, I said it right. Okay, thank you, Joe. Thanks for letting me know that, because, I can't always remember everything. Believe it or not, I'm human. So I think that it will be very significant to have all of those depositions in terms of what is being said. And Monhun is saying the fact that they said 14 foreign located witnesses, many of which are in India, makes me wonder if they want to depose some people in the UAE and Egypt. Yeah, that's a very good point too, because very well, it may not be just in India. It could definitely be the UAE, which, Dubai. There could be people in Dubai that they'd want to speak to, and people in Egypt as well. And, you guys can think about who these people could possibly be. Ash is bound to say he won even when he lost horribly. Well, that's the thing, is he's continued to imply that this is a done deal, that it's already taken care of, when clearly we are still in the middle of all of it and nothing has been resolved. But yet, and we're clearly, everything that has been going, like, nothing has been resolved. People are still do-de-dee, do-do-do, like, okay, so, about that payment. So about that back office, it's, everything is just pretty much not happening. But yet we're still going to fully trust and believe in this entire thing, because, we couldn't possibly have been lied to. That couldn't possibly, we're not being misled. That could not be true. Even though if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck, but people are not able to wrap their heads around the fact that it's a duck. So there you have it. There you have it. Hello and welcome, G. And I'm so sorry I cannot pronounce I'm presuming that is your last name, but thank you very much for the pink hand wavings. I appreciate that. So that's what I wanted to get you caught up with today, is from the fact that looking to extend discovery for 6 months. And that will mean that, the trial will start not this December, but next December, December 1st of 2025. Which, that means like, okay, so we're all going to be sitting here watching what happens continually, I guess maybe sometime I might even react to something recently because it's been very hard for me to desire to want to keep up with the least little bit of what's going on because it's like a whole big bucket of nothing that I just find it to be very unfortunate that so many people are still believing that everything is okay and that, they're still going to be riding off into the sunset with unimaginable wealth. That to me is just very sad and very frustrating. But that's what I had for you guys tonight. So, I forgot to tell you guys about Chalupa and Salsa. They're both here on the bed with me, and neither one of them are snuggled up very close. Salsa is by my feet, and she's under the furry blanket, and he's next to the fuzzy blanket. Oh, Monhun, I've got to bring this up. You mean you don't want to watch the same people in the spotlight for the third time in 3 months? Well, I kind of I find that kind of boring. I mean, call me crazy, but hearing the same thing over and over again and nothing new, that doesn't really, that doesn't trip my trigger, just doesn't. Unimaginable wealth or imaginary wealth? Well, I'd say it would be the imaginary kind. You have a good point there, Thomas. But I want to say I appreciate everybody coming here to, listen to me give this update from the docket. And, I look forward to going over all of the things that they're denying so we can just reinforce that in our own little brains again. Month in review should be a thing. It absolutely should be, absolutely, because it's like there's a whole lot of nothing going on. It's like, so, what's going on? Nothing, still nothing. Woo! Woo! Oh my gosh, you heard Marty's story for the 20th time. I'm telling you, I cannot listen to Marty's story again. I just can't. They're desperate to fill time when Red invites Marty and Chris to be in the chair. Oh, good Lord, no. Good Lord, no. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I just can't. I just can't with these people. I just can't. Oh. But I just may have to look at some of them sometime just for me to go, they're still saying the same bullshit. And just to be disgusted, because that's all I'm going to be is frustrated and disgusted and annoyed. But you guys may enjoy hearing me be disgusted, frustrated, and annoyed because I mean, I'm not going to be anything but. And, it felt really good not to be paying so much attention to them. But I do have some more dirt on the brobots, which, by the way, there was an article that came out about Enagic stuff, and my channel was mentioned in it. So I'll share that with you guys too. But it was about the Freedom Era, which I did a video about the Freedom Era too. All of these things that leads, the path is to Enagic disguised as something else. I find all of that to be highly interesting. But I will be doing a reaction to one of the webinars in which the robots have the fake live going on where they're pretending, the hosts are pretending that they're interacting with someone live when in fact it's actually pre-recorded. Oh my gosh, ONPASSIVE certainly does have errors. It does have errors. That's a really good thing. It does have errors. Pre-migration, post-migration, but we're still not in post-migration. It's like, what are we in? We're on the hold migration. I know, Beth, you were deceased when that video played. It was just so funny because there they are. The poor host for the robots. I mean, they can't even press play or press stop either. Oh, the videos began playing at the same time. I know that was this the best, wasn't it? It's like, oh my gosh, they're so brilliant. So yeah, I mean, I think I definitely need to react to some of them because, why not? Why not? Why do they do this to themselves? I don't know why they do that, but whatever I do, I think, I am going to put the little bar over them or, put some kind of emojis on because, they're so sensitive, those Canadian robots are, about having their faces shown, even though they're public figures. But, don't want to have their faces shown. They're all sensitive about that unless they're paying someone to interview them or they're paying to have an article about them put up somewhere, which I did come across some places that they use for that, which I find really funny. I mean, if you're a quote company and you're having to pay someone to post articles about you so that you look as if you're legit, I just think that's pretty pathetic, myself. There's pre-launch, the soft launch, the medium launch, the semi-launch, the commercial launch. Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. Yeah, there are all of those things. All of those things. I wonder if I could get paid to interview them. Oh, Joe, you totally should, totally pretend like you're, a legit journalist that you want to interview them. Come up with some, grand name, a fake website or some shit. That would be funny. That would be really funny. I'm sure that you could come up with something and make it all look like, oh yeah, see, I've done all this stuff because, we're not going to rat you out. Monhan says most founders are already experiencing the roaring 20s era for the second time in their lifetimes. Oh my gosh, making ONPASSIVE great again. Oh my God, you people are slaying me. You are just killing me softly. That's what you're doing. Anyway, I'm going to get down on the go-go. Thank you everyone for being here. And, let me know if because I did find something called Locals where I could start that instead of Patreon and instead of, doing channel memberships. There was a couple of things that I have found that, I've been thinking of doing. And I'm going to be making more soap too. And I thought about making some soap with ONPASSIVE sayings. Would you guys be interested in some soap with ONPASSIVE sayings on them? I think that would be kind of fun to have. I'd have to figure out how to ship that and all that kind of stuff, But anyway, been thinking about things, and I'm going to be making some candles too. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you. Until next time, which will be soon later this week. Have a great one. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all your support. Have a great one. Mwah. Good night, everyone.